And he was like, "Oh, you've actually robbed these places." Like, yeah, just get out of the joint. So sometimes you just kind of pull from those life experiences, and you hope that somebody gives you an opportunity to play that as a character. It's a catharsis, man.
Got to ask you about Call of Duty because I do a
Yeah.
lot of content on Call of Duty here. Just been playing through Advanced Warfare for the
Sorry,
first second. Sorry, what do you mean?
dude. We
You
shot
don't
a
look
hell of a
back
game.
fondly?
First of all, I can tell you stories. Sledgehammer is a great,
Please do.
yeah, they're a great developer. Um, Stone and those guys are awesome. You've got two of the guys from Sledgehammer that went off and started their own company now. So I mean, here we go. We show up on set, and all we see on the sides, because you get a call sheet, and it's like you see, Gideon Emery, you see Troy Baker, and you see Russell Rich, all these people, and then you see KS. I'm like, okay. I was like, who's the big? And I came in second, even though I'm the player character. Like we shot a whole bunch of stuff first, and then we came in and we shot your stuff. And I show up on set, and nobody tells me who the number one is. I'm
Oh, you
like,
didn't know? Wow.
no. So I show up on set. I was like, KS, 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 KSI? No. um,
That'd be a different
KS.
game.
And then one day we show up on set. Good morning, everybody. How are you? And I was like, holy
Wow.
shit. And we had
All
just kind of
right.
set up, and there was this long table that we all just kind of all the actors kind of sat. It was a common area, but it was just a big long conference table or whatever on set. And I was at this corner here. It's like call it the northwest corner.
Yeah.
And so Kevin comes up and he sits down and he decides to make his base of operations at the head of the table, of course, right next to me. And so for 2 weeks, it was just Spacey and I just, going back and sharing music. He was mixing his album at the same time. I was mixing mine. I was like, tell me what you think. And so we were like, swapping mixes back and forth. And there's this moment where you remember the scene in the game where they said, Stacey goes, on whose authority?
Mm-hmm.
The first read that Kevin gives, he goes, on my authority. And it's just like, that's why you hired Kevin Spacey. You got House of Cards and every other movie and show that comes before it right there. And it was like, oh man, that's so good. And they're like, great job, great. We're gonna go one more time, and we just feel like you should be angry. And he goes, angry? He goes, yeah. He goes, okay. And so he comes back, and he goes, on whose authority? Goes, on my authority, and does that whole thing. And they were like, oh my God, that's exactly what. He just looks at me and goes, now I know what game we're making. I'm like, no. And a part of me
Oh
died.
no,
The original ending of the original ending of the game.
Far out.
You're frozen in your mech, and I'm sitting there, and I've got my gun like this, and of course he's controlling it. And the original thing is, he walks up to you, and he talks about how every movement needs a martyr. He goes, to really have an effective movement, you need to have a martyr. And so he walks, and he puts his head right there, and he takes the gun, and he puts it right to his head. He goes, I know what I'm doing. And he goes, bang. That's the original ending.
Far out.
Then we go into ADR, and they're like, we have one C we need to pick up. And now all of a sudden, he's got my arm, and I go, some Air Force One line, get off my arm or whatever, and we do a Die Hard drop. And I was like, what is this? They're like, there's no way we could have done the original ending.
Wow, really?
I might get in real big trouble for telling that story, but it's been long enough. I mean, they
It's
hired
been
Kevin
long enough.
Spacey, and that's it's such a, whatever I
What
can divulge.
How
That's
did
probably
you? Because you've openly said he wasn't that bad to work with. Like,
I mean, look,
what did you think when you saw that come out? That was crazy.
uh, didn't surprise me. I knew enough about Kevin Spacey from other people, and
Wow.
I know people who grew up with them, and um, his behavior is inexcusable.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing that, especially at the height of that
Mm.
you can do to make amends or to recover from that. The talent is undeniable, and I think that the problem that persists within specifically this industry is, and Kevin Spacey's not the first, man. Like there's a whole bunch of people. Like there's no way that we would let Roman Polanski make movies today.
No, yeah,
If you
yeah.
if you look systematically through this, and I bet if you, I mean, you could even go back and look at the different artists that we allowed to just keep making their art because they were so talented, despite the fact that their behavior was deplorable or despicable. Um, and it creates this really weird thing. It's like, ah, but I love the thing that they do. Keep doing the thing, just do that thing in private. And then that is a non-sustainable model. So what you have to end up doing is going, look, no more. And what that means is if that means that we lose the art, then so be it. But we're no longer going to be perpetrators or complicit in that behavior. Because I really think that by and large, part of the reason why this behavior perpetuates itself is because there is nobody that's stopping it. And even more so, you feed people that have issues, money and freedom to be able to and help sometimes cover it up as opposed to going,
Mm,
no, no, man, no more. So
mm.
I don't believe that I believe that there has to be a system of justice that allows people to um, present um, things to be proven. You know what I mean? I want to
Yeah.
believe people when they. I don't think that you turn and go, nah, not them, or yeah, we know, but He's gonna do another awesome series of that
Mm.
show that we love. I think you have to listen to people. But it has to be like, what did you say? What did you say? And now use the systems that we have in place of courts and justice to be able to litigate that effectively. Otherwise, it's just rampant, chaos.